Yo, YouTube, what's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, man, back at y'all again with another video. If you haven't already, man, like, comment, share, subscribe, man. It helps the channel out greatly. Thank you for watching the channel, man. Hate making videos like this, man. I probably really wasn't going to, man, but we gotta talk about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Jalen Hurts situation. I know I've been pretty quiet about the Philadelphia Eagles, these past couple of months, man. But I just like to let things die down before I get to talking about them. And I just wanted to get on here and talk about the Jalen Hurts situation that's going on in Philadelphia, man. Apparently, Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman aren't completely sold on Jalen Hurts as being the future of the Philadelphia Eagles, um, stating that Jalen Hurts will not get a contract extension until the end of the year when he has proven that his play can match his salary. Um, I kind of have a lot of mixed emotions about the situation because you guys know that I'm a big Jalen Hurts supporter. I really, really do like Jalen Hurts as the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback. Um, got the if you ask me, I think Jalen Hurts is the most decorated Philadelphia Eagles quarterback in franchise history. Winning a Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles, going to the Super Bowl. You know, I think his what second or third year in the league. I think it was his third year. Third year in the league, Super Bowl. So Jalen Hurts has had a lot of success, man, and I don't know what it is. A lot of Philadelphia Eagles fans feel the same way Jeffrey Lurie feel, and a lot of people in the media feel the same way that Jeffrey Lurie and them feel right now about Jalen Hurts' play needing to improve. Um, I don't think it's completely on Jalen Hurts. I think that with the AJ Brown thing going on, with the Nick Sirianni, we're not really sure if he's really a head coach or not. We don't really know what Nick Sirianni does, honestly. With the constant changing of offensive coordinators year in and year out. Now I know the Philadelphia Eagles just signed Sean Mannion from the Packers, and he's going to be the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles this season. Um, and I'm interested to see how that turns out. He just traded for a receiver, Wicks, from the Packers, so obviously he has a little bit of power and he has a little bit of say so and who's gonna be in the offense next season, which is cool. We lost Jahan Dotson to the Falcons, but we ended up getting Hollywood Brown. So we also ended up getting Tyreek Woolen as well. I just think when it comes to the Jalen Hurts situation, I think Jalen Hurts is a really great quarterback. I do think that. I think that he still needs to improve a little bit on his passing. Me and my boy Tony, he's also a huge Eagles fan. We talk about this all the time. And I still think there's still room for improvement in that area when it comes to Jalen Hurts, man. There like 2 games last year that I could vividly remember Jalen Hurts. Well, 3 games I could vividly remember Jalen Hurts struggling to get the ball downfield. And I feel like you know, when you're putting so much money into the offense, like the Philadelphia Eagles are, you're paying Devontae Smith, you're paying Dallas Goddard, you're paying AJ Brown. They're expecting to see those passing numbers take a uptick. I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts didn't have a good season. I think he had a good season for his standards. I think Jalen 25 touchdowns to like what 6 interceptions. That's a pretty good season, for a quarterback, man. But if you look at his at the season in totality, like I said, there were 3 games that stood out to me where I really do feel like Jalen Hurts could have been a lot better in. For starters, we gotta talk about that Chargers game where he threw 4 interceptions in that game. Unacceptable. That can't happen, especially when you have the weapons that you have on that team. Now, granted, the Chargers defense was pretty good last season, man, but there's still no excuse for having 4 interceptions against, the Chargers. The game against the Bucks, where the whole second half of that game he didn't complete not one pass. unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. Can't happen. And I believe the game against the 49ers too, man, where we're in the playoffs and the Eagles go one and done, last minute, you know, last play of the game. I'm sorry, last play of the game, and Jalen Hurts throws the ball in the double coverage. Yeah, Jalen Hurts throws the ball into double coverage, and the Eagles lose the game. Now, I think the message that the Philadelphia Eagles are trying to send to Jalen Hurts, because there's been a lot of chatter, about Jalen Hurts as far as him being kind of stubborn, him not being completely bought into the offense. And I think that had more so to do with Kevin Patullo than anything. I think Kevin Patullo did a horrible job managing this Eagles offense the entire season. No creativity, no motion plays, no nothing. And this is the reason why I go back to Nick Sirianni on this. What is Nick Sirianni good at? Because when Nick Sirianni first got here, Nick Sirianni was supposed to be an offensive-minded head coach. So, but it seems to me like we're switching offensive coordinators all the time, and it seems like if we don't have a good offensive coordinator, the Eagles' offense sputters. You know what I mean? So that's one of the biggest issues that I've had with this team for a while. They need stability in that position, the offensive coordinator position. They need stability in it. But even without no stability in the offensive coordinator spot, Jalen Hurts has still been able to, play some really great football for the Philadelphia Eagles, man. So he's proven that he can adapt to change. You know what I mean? But I think that for Jalen Hurts to really get this extension from Jeffrey Lurie, after this season, I think a couple of things have to happen. For one, I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles can afford to go one and done in the playoffs again next season. I just don't think that's gonna make. I just don't think that's gonna make Jeffrey Lurie want to pay Jalen Hurts more money. I just don't see that happening. Jalen Hurts has to also prove that he can win, because he's done it before. When the Eagles went to the Super Bowl the first time, you know what I mean, with Jalen Hurts. He's done it before, and he's proven that he can win in the big game, outperforming Patrick Mahomes and all that. But Jalen Hurts has to show the Philadelphia Eagles that he can carry them again. You know what I mean? Because let's just be honest, man. Coming into this season, man, I just had a feeling that Saquon Barkley was gonna have not a down year, but he wasn't gonna be as good as he was the year before. I mean, we played extra games. We played more games than 30 other teams did. You know what I mean? Because we went to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Saquon Barkley, he rushed for 2,000 yards. You know what I mean? You can't expect Saquon Barkley to run for 2,000 yards every season. That's just not realistic. Okay? And Jalen Hurts has to also show the Philadelphia Eagles that if they do pay him this big money, that the team will still be in a great position in order to win football games, because I'm pretty sure Howie Roseman is looking around the league like he's looking at the Kansas City Chiefs team, and when they paid Patrick Mahomes, how they haven't really, it's been really hard for them to go back to the big game ever since then. You know what I mean? But you're looking at Drake May, who's on a rookie scale contract. Drake May just went to the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold on a team friendly deal went to the Super Bowl. Look at Lamar Jackson. Ever since the Baltimore Ravens paid Lamar Jackson, they haven't been the same since. Ever since the Bills paid Josh Allen, they haven't been the same since. So if Jalen Hurts is going to command more money, Jalen Hurts has to be the X factor, not for just this season, but for years down the road. I mean, look at Dak Prescott, man. Dak Prescott, he got paid. When was the last time Dak Prescott went to an NFC championship game? Forget about the Super Bowl. When was the last time he made it to a conference game? I'm pretty sure Howie Roseman is seeing these things around the league like, yo, if we can trade Jalen Hurts, if we can get off Jalen Hurts' contract, and we could go and get another young quarterback in here that can play and that can get us to the Super Bowl while we spend money elsewhere on the team, such as defense, O-line play, receivers, running backs, I think Howie Roseman would probably take that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one thing that I feel as though that is being looked at right now, because look at the two teams that were just in the Super Bowl. And you know the NFL is a copycat league. I'm not saying that the Eagles are going to get rid of Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts. I think that Jalen Hurts is going to be here to stay, but I just think that the leash is getting a little short, man. You have like I said, that playoff game, I'm pretty sure left a bad taste in Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie's mouth. I'm pretty sure that 4-game interception that he had with the Chargers left so he's got to step his game up this season. And I think Jalen Hurts will. I think that Jalen Hurts, he performs at his best when his back's against the wall. And I think that he's going to make it very, very difficult for the Philadelphia Eagles to make a decision on his contract this offseason, for sure. I think he is. I really do think that. My only thing is now, because I'm hearing that the trade rumors with A.J. Brown is still swirling around New England. You know, he's going on podcasts talking about how his favorite team, was New England growing up and all that stuff. I'm interested to see how the A.J. Brown thing, works out for the Philadelphia Eagles, because if this is Jalen Hurts' prove it year now, you know what I'm saying? Because this league they don't harp on what you did last season or the season before that. It's what have you done for me lately. And if you can win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts, throwing just 18 touchdown passes the year we went to the Super Bowl, Howie Roseman's probably thinking of different avenues right now. You know what I'm saying? So I just lost my train of thought, y'all. But I just think that Jalen Hurts has to prove himself, man. And with A.J. Brown, like I said, with the A.J. Brown thing, since it's Jalen Hurts' prove it year, do the Eagles move off of A.J. Brown this season? You know what I mean? Because I get it that we got Devontae Smith, and I think Devontae Smith is poised for a breakout season this year. Not saying that he's going to be JSN, but he definitely has the potential to put up those types of numbers if given an opportunity. So do you trade A.J. Brown and go all in on Devontae Smith being the number one wide receiver? I don't know. You know what I mean? Do you draft a wide receiver? I don't know either. I don't know what the Philadelphia Eagles are thinking, but I just don't think it would be smart to trade A.J. Brown right now if this is supposed to be Jalen Hurts' prove it year. But then again, it could be a good move if you're trying to show Jalen Hurts the future reality of the big money that he's going to be making, and he's not going to have receivers like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith to throw the ball to all the time. You know what I mean? So it could be it could be here and there. You know what I mean? You seen, Drake May, he got Stephon Diggs, and, his play improved. So it's pivotal for a quarterback to have at least one good wide receiver to throw the ball to, for sure, But we'll just have to see, man. But do I think that Jalen Hurts deserves the contract? I do think he deserves the contract based off of everything that he's done. But like I said, man, this is a what have you done for me lately league, and you winning Super Bowls in the past ain't going to cut it, man. The Philadelphia Eagles want to know if Jalen Hurts can help them win Super Bowls 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. But another thing, too, I think about with this Jalen Hurts situation is if Jalen Hurts, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but it's always a possibility. If Jalen Hurts wets the bed, this season, what do the Philadelphia Eagles do then at the quarterback position? Just something to think about, man. But all in all, man, like, comment, share, subscribe, man. Thank y'all for checking out the channel. And I'm going to get up with y'all in the next video, man. Peace.